a purpose so true. But when I'm Mayans, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into with a purpose so true. But when I'm Mayans, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong. Turning every challenge into
Myra, can we please give you 2 minutes for the co-host to join? Okay, good evening, everyone. You are welcome to the Minus TV. Today we'll be discussing understanding faith and moral values in everyday. And so our guests, for those that missed the one time we're discussing on Wednesday was talking why faith state matters in today's world. And there are key things captured and there are key things we take away where we discuss faith is confidence, faith is something. So before we go further today, I want for my co-host and my panelists, and including the guests, to introduce yourself. Mr. Myers, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you so much to our host, Keba. Thank you so much. So the name remain constant. I'm D. Bernard Myers, tonight here as one of the panelists for this all unique discussion. And we are hoping to have a very a conversation that will help our listeners, to gain knowledge from this particular topic. Thank you so much.
Okay, my co-host, Mr. Dogo, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you. Good evening and hello to everyone. I'm so sorry for joining in this late, you know. But anyways, it's good to be here. So we kicked off on Wednesday on this interesting topic. And today again we are here with the same topic but looking at it in a very different way. It's actually a fascinating thing again to have our guest on and to go to the court. We're going to discuss this faith, identity, and value at the very court. So, again, I remain constant. Philip Chid Dolo. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jameson, our guest for tonight, you are welcome again. Can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Okay, so thank you very much, Quebec. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you to everyone in our listeners. My name is Lee T. Gibson. I am a Liberian student currently studying in China. And I'm grateful to be on this platform. And like I always say, I was always grateful to the Myers TV family for this opportunity, because it's now an easy thing to create, a platform where people will come and share knowledge, where people will come and share their experiences, and and just make impact in society. So it is good to be here, and I look forward to having a very fruitful discussion tonight, as we had this gone Wednesday, and we're looking forward to that. So thank you for the invite.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gibson. You are welcome to our viewers. I'm Kevin Estebara, and I'm serving a host for tonight. And tonight we'll be discussing on the topic understanding faith and moral value in our everyday. Last week when we invited Mr. Godet Wednesday, we talked about why faith still matters in today's world. And there are a few things we discussed when he gave us the kind of faith, which is the bare faith and the real faith. And he talked about faith is something that we believe in. There are a lot of things. So to our viewers, please stay connected today as we're going to go into depth to discuss our value. We discuss tonight our culture and the identity. So to go further, to our viewers, we are not preaching religion here, or we are not doing any competition. But tonight we are going straight to discuss understanding faith and moral value in our everyday life. So, to begin with, Myers, when someone talks about faith beyond religion and religion, what comes to your mind? Can you please explain to us tonight?
Thank you, Susan. So I'll begin by saying faith and moral values shaped our daily life by providing a personal framework of purpose. Uh, we live in a dispensation today where our faith and that of our moral values today speak who we are as an individual. It show our strength, and it show like let me start with faith. We talk about belief. We've been following over the time. We talk about belief. You remember the last show I spoke about it give one's or confidence when there is a situation that arises, right? And we talk about moral values where we have to do with honestly, compassions. We also mentioned the last time we came from the health sectors, but in my own view, right? If you as an individual, right? You try to combine because faith and that of moral value they are intertwined, right? If you try to combine them, you try to understand that it helps one to have a successful days or a successful stage of life because when you practice these things that comes with the definition of faith and then that of moral values, we look at your honesties, we look at compassions, you taking responsibility. Another thing we want to look at tonight is responsibility. You taking responsibility of whatever action, be it negative and positive actions that you handle, whatever way, right? You taking responsibility of that and overcoming those challenges that comes with it. We understand that yes, indeed, this individual, they are somehow, they are strong when it comes to their moral values and what have you. So I'll stop here for now. Then maybe when we go on, we'll have something to say.
All right, we are getting there tonight. Like from your explanation, you said faith beyond religion and future is creating the framework in our daily life. That's nice. I guess our viewers are following. Mr. Dolo, when we talk about faith as belief, leading a moral direction, what does come to your mind? Can you please explain that?
Thank you, ma'am. So first off, I would like to, make us to understand that, as we said previously, and we're going to repeat again and take it higher. You know, this is far beyond our worship areas, our worship places, all the different religions we are formed part of. Faith goes beyond that. Faith actually goes beyond that. And again, we actually see faith in the way we talk to people, our communication, the way you kind of communicate, the way you send the message across, the way you receive the next person's message, they are all kind of practical example of our faith, right? And in our own decision making, Maya's talking about responsibility, right? In our own decision making, how well we make decision, how fast we make decision, how slow we make our decision. we all see a practical application of faith right there. And looking at our daily activities, like in our school, in our homes, in our church, our community, the marketplaces, even on social media, the way we interact with people, the way we engage, the way we understand, the way we receive people's, communication, and how we think through it, they are all practical example of our faith. So today I would like our followers and viewers to know can actually be balanced with our behavior, and our behavior is our core values. So today's discussion, we're going to be as much possible as we can to give and provide tangible response to the topic. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dolo. From what you say, our behavior is our core value. Guys, if you are just joining the platform tonight, welcome to the Maris TV. Tonight we are discussing understanding faith and moral value in our everyday life. So, Mr. Gibson, now we get to you. When we talk about why hate exists across culture and society, what comes to your mind? Can you please go into depth? We have 10 minutes for this discussion.
Okay, so thank you very much, Quebec. I think my fellow colleagues have already said enough about faith, and even what we have discussed in our last meeting. I think we have been giving so many definitions, rival definitions on the topic of faith. Yeah, so I think faith is belief, like my colleague mentioned, right? Faith is belief. Like everyone has faith, but our faith that we have, uh, they are not directed to the same, to the same goals, right? Like I may have faith in different things, and another person may have faith in another thing. So faith is about believing. Sometimes believing what we know, believing what we have, or we have information about. So faith is all about believing. So this discussion we have centered around it. We are centered around, let's say, religious, belief. So today I want to take a little trend. I want to I don't want to say backslide. I want to take a little trend tonight because we have been discussing the spiritual aspect of faith. So tonight we have to talk about morality, as you have mentioned in your conversations. But we cannot talk about morality and we leave something out. There is something that we have been discussing, but we haven't been making mention of. So today I was just doing a little reading and I discovered this something. So that is ethics. Because if you're talking about morality, you should also be talking about ethics, because it is very important in our daily life. So, first of all, what is morality? Because we're talking about our daily life, we should understand what is morality in the first place. Someone may say, "What is morality?" Sometimes we hear this word, people use it, all in public places and workplace and what have you. So, morality or morals refer to the principles that shape a person's idea about right or wrong. So they are often influenced by our environment, by culture, and most importantly, our beliefs, almost like faith. Yeah, most importantly, our belief, our belief system. So moral provides the foundations for ethical systems. It drives our desire to be good. So to be good in society, to be good in whatever that we do. So that is moral. So it has to do with what our belief system, what we believe in, the principle that shapes our personal, ideas. So that is what morality. So in our society today, there are a lot of people who have different kinds of belief, and we live with our peers, we live with our friends. They have so many, they have different kinds of beliefs, and that is what gave rise to their faith. So when we talk about ethics, so what are ethics? So I think some of us, we already know the definitions. Ethics are specific rules and actions that dictate what is acceptable behavior within a particular group or setting. So it is something, that has to do with rules. So for example, some of you, your profession may be, you may be in the medical field. So I think your field has ethics, and you may be in in a law school. So your profession has ethics. So every one of us, regardless of where we come from, once we have our professions, there is a particular ethics that are being attached to that profession, and we must what? In order to be good in society, we must obey those ethics. So ethics are specific rules and actions that dictate what is acceptable behavior within a particular group or setting. So if we try to balance the equation of knowing the difference between moral and ethics, so like moral, which are more about our personal belief, so it gives rise to faith. So ethics are practical guidelines. So it is practical, it is designed to ensure that everyone within a setting or within a community follows a consistent set of rules. So the difference is morals are about personal guiding principles. So your personal belief, what you believe in, and what you believe in will guide you. It will guide you through whatsoever thing that you believe in. Why ethics are about what? Practical rules of behaviors. So it teaches you how to behave. That is why we say in your profession, you have ethics. If you are in the medical field, there is ethics, that are being attached. So for example, you cannot hold grudge against someone, and maybe you are a surgeon in a operation room. You say, oh, because this person has hurt my heart, so I'm going to give wrong medication. No, it's not ethical as per your profession. So you have to follow that ethical rules in your professions. So that is what I value. That is what I moral value to your life, your daily life. So that is why many of us today in our society, we have lost the mark. We don't have moral values. We don't understand ethics. We are no longer practicing ethics. Look at our society today on a daily basis, even our public offices. Today, if you employ someone, they are not honest. They don't want to, they don't want to adapt that moral value that, that will add more value to their life. So in today's world, I think it is important for us to understand moral. You may believe in something which may be too moral is good. You can add more value to your life. And you should also adapt that societal ethical system, because it teaches you how to, how to live and how to behave. But many of us, because of personal gain, we tend not to obey those things because we want to gain something personally. So we must be ethical in our daily life. We must be ethical in whatever thing that we do. Even in your study, you should be ethical. There are academic, ethics that we should follow. For example, when you are writing exam, don't cheat. It's an ethics. But how many of us, maybe if the professor just give us a little time or a little chance, we will try to, to giraffe and get something for elsewhere. But it's not ethical. So it sounds very simple, but it's important because it is important that we adapt, those systems so that we can be good in our daily life, so that we can be good in everything that we do. So that we said, ethics, a moral person institute the right thing based on their personal belief. So, for example, someone may find something right, and they believe that whatever thing that is not belongs to them, they should not possess it. So that person maybe found that thing, and they took it and gave and returned it to the person, to the owner of that items. So that person belief system has what instructed them to do the right thing. So they have become moral, in society. So the belief we are talking about is a moral belief, is a personal belief. So it depends on the person's personal belief. So that's why we say you cannot be moral and then you leave ethics out of it, because you have to be good in society. You cannot just believe and then you are not taking those actions. In taking those actions, you need to follow ethics. Yeah, you need to follow ethics. So an ethical code is a set of rules that people of certain professions or a group are expected to follow regardless of their personal belief. So we may have different kinds of belief. You may believe in different things, I may believe in different things. But when it comes to ethics, it's a collective effort, it's a collective thing that we should obey, that we should follow, every one of us. So it is not that, oh, because you believe in this and I don't believe in this, so I should not be ethical. No, we should have that ethical behavior in our daily life that will help us to improve our society. So because it is important to know that what is ethical isn't always moral, and what is moral isn't also always ethical. So that's the difference. So if we try to balance it, we should know, because it's something is moral, it has to do with belief. But if something is ethical, then it has to be to deal with rules. It has to do with guidelines. That is why we say in our professions we have our ethics. We have ethics to follow. Like even this show, I remember when you guys invited me and I read through, the instructions. Those instructions are ethics, and I should follow it. If I want to have a successful show with you guys, that I will be invited here again, meaning I should follow those rules because it's ethical. So that's what we're talking about. So it's not just a belief, right? So our moral value today, it has very important part in our life. So we are here to discuss, to encourage our fellow men, to encourage young people, to encourage parents that morals character is more important in life, and ethical character as well. So we have to adapt the both. Yeah. So I want to give a practical example about the moral and ethics. So for example, a lawyer may personally believe that a client is immoral. Yeah, he knows very well that this client is immoral, but ethically, he is forced or he is bound to provide the best possible defense in court, even though he's aware, but he has to ethically he has to carry on his function. So, so you see, so we know, sometimes there are a lot of examples, right? We know sometimes we blast at some lawyer, we say, oh, this person like this, but because of his professional ethics, he has to go through that. But he knows that this person is immoral. But because he has been assigned to serve as a lawyer for that person or for that client, he has to carry on his duty. So that's it for ethics and morality. And so as the discussion goes on, we will come up with more informations, because this conversation is a conversation that everyone has to partake. And I love the trend of the conversation, because you have changed the style. I think before, when we came here, the guests have more time to speak, but now you have to speak a little, and then the panelists have to come in and give their ideas. So it's an interactive discussion. So it is a good thing. So I will stop here and give the chance to the others. So thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the opportunity. And I hope I work in time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jason. Wow, one thing you say I love is, like you said, you cannot be moral and leave ethic out of it. How it's powerful. If you are just joining us on this platform tonight, you are watching the Myers TV, and tonight we are discussing understanding faith and moral values in our everyday life. As our guest said, you cannot be moral and leave ethics out of it, because ethics are rules that we follow in our daily life. We are getting there. So now, Mr. Myers, we come to faith and moral. What can he say? Faith, moral. Now we are talking about faith. First, at the first one, whenever they were there, like faith, because majority of people, even me sitting here, most people believe that faith is like Christianity. They come to Hebrew, talking about faith. So if we are talking about faith, we're talking about moral value. How do you please that? Can you please explain? You have 5 minutes, please.
Thank you so much. So that's a very good question. Like all of our speakers, and we said this over and over. We look at faith. For me, our personality, divine faith. The other time, right? You heard me, and when you look at faith, and then that of moral, I will tell you that faith can be a core value of one life, and the moral life of that person's, which has to do with your honesties and other things. uh that can be, those actions that you carry on. So for a practical example, I will tell you that faith is the foundation of every individual success or successful life. Faith is a foundation that every individual stands on to be successful. And how when you stand on faith, as because it gave you that courage, it gave you that hope, and what have you, and to implement those things that will come with your success. What happened there, where your moral attitude shows, where you have to, like our guest was saying, we talk about you being so honest to people, you being a buying person, rules and regulations, you are able to follow them, you are able to do whatever. Let's take for example, many of us here today, if I ask you a question, when every one of us was a little kids, right? We still growing up, but when we was a little kids, what our parents would tell us when somebody gave us something, what would you say to them in return? You always tell them what? Thank you, right? That's the moral thing that was our tradition, right? That whenever somebody gave you something in return, you tell them thank you. We also say when we were coming up again, our parents would tell us that when you an old person, when you are seated and then you see older person, what you should do? You stand, right, and give that older person a seat to sit, right? So these are moral things that we do. And faith is your belief on what you stand for. A lot of psychologists, these are people that have been looking at faith, like they don't want to just link faith on the religious side, even though faith comes from if you look at the foundation of faith, it comes from the religious side. But now, when you look at society today, or people look at faith today, it just have to do with whatever you believe in. Even the Bible tells us, right, whatever you believe in will work for you, right? So it's a strong belief. So faith is like a transformation. I always use this word. It's a transformation that gave one hope, courage, right? When there is a brokenness. I said it before because I was following a psychologist, and then he was saying, but when do we really see faith? We see faith when there is a circumstances, when there is a problem, when whatever we see around us, when it seems to be like it is not positive, and then we gain that courage and say, no, I think this thing I can stand on my faith, and then I think I can do it. So the thing is, today, are we practicing that moral thing? Those things that we are getting from our people, are we practicing them today? And there's a serious question that we ask ourselves. A lot of us are not doing it. Why? Because our faith now has become shaken. A lot of us now do not believe in ourselves. If anybody would believe in you, you should be the first believing in yourself. Always say to yourself that I can do it. And what speaks to you, or what say to your minds, is that faith you have, right? So faith can be a solid foundation that one builds to overcome challenges. And when we talk about your moral life, has to do with those implementation that has been carried on. Such has to do with compassion, like I usually say, responsibilities, and all those things that you do that follow up your foundation of faith. So when you look at two of them, I said to you previously, they are all intertwined, right? You cannot just deal with it and forget about your moral life. They are all intertwined and they all work together. The only way you're going to be that kind of person that people will see you, you have to work in line with your faith and then that of your moral life. So I'll stop here for now and give our other colleagues a chance.
Okay, Mr. Myers, thank you. Said faith is a transformation. So you can be faithful and live moral. So you mean that faith and moral works together. That's perfect. Okay, Mr. Dolo, when we talk about, when we asking what moral values are shared across different faiths, the moral values that are shared across different faiths, what comes to your mind?
I like that one. I like it. And thank you for the question. So, you ever said, I mean, we have thousands, in fact, we have hundreds of thousands of different faith in the world. We are different people, although we are we were all created by one divine God or supreme God, but we tend to have our own gods or goddesses. So, in as much as we have our own gods and goddesses, that means that we have different faith. Now, what I have seen for the little time on earth, what I have seen is that of all the different faith we have, of all the different religions we have in the world, we all shared these common moral values, such as respect. You will see a Muslim man or an Islamic man, or you will see a Hindu man, or you will see what? A Christian man, but they all show respect. That's one moral value. And the next one we all kind of share is what we call integrity. Like, you kind of try your possible best or your level best to do that which is good, even when your elder is not watching you, even when your friend is not watching, but you are in a very different community or very different setting, but you kind of try to, show out your integrity. And the next one we kind of show out is compassion. So compassion, accountability, we taking responsibility of what we ought to do with our statements, with our actions. We are accounted for them. These are core values which, no matter your religion, no matter your faith, no matter your belief, we all shared across for one reason. And that reason is because we are humans and we have blood. We are humans and we have blood. So when we tend to be happy, you kind of have a cool blood in your system. But when you tend to be angry, your blood becomes very hot. And not many of us, I mean, most people, in fact, all of us in the world, we don't like to have a hot blood in our system. We all like our blood to be very cold, Myers. We all like our blood to be cold. So if you are disrespectful to the next person, you know that in return, the person is going to be disrespectful to you. So if you are very condescending towards a particular group of people, for the next group of people, they are going to be condescending to you. So these are core values we all shared across different faiths or different religions: respect, integrity, compassion, accountability, time management as well. And our guest rightly said, ethics. These are all things we shared. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dulu. You said, despite our religion, despite our differences, but we share common values such as respect, integrity, compassion, responsibility. Ah, that's nice. If you are just joining us tonight, welcome to the Myers TV. Tonight we are discussing understanding faith and moral value in our everyday life. So, Mr. Gibson, will how faith helps to shape honesty, discipline, and responsibility in our daily life. How faith actually helps to shape those things in our life because, like, we deal with them every day. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much. You said how faith, have
Help.
faith inside our daily life in honesty, right?
Eh, yes, honesty, discipline, and responsibility.
Okay, so like our brother mentioned, like no matter what religion you are from, I believe that every religion in the world teaches, morality, teaches ethical behaviors and what have you. So our faith, what we believe in, it shapes our behavior. Because whatever you believe in, there must be some set of rules and some set of of decency within what you believe, whatever religion and whatsoever you believe in. So it left with the individual how well to implement those things. So it plays an important role in our life because it guides our steps. For example, we from the Christendom, we believe in God, right? And we have our Bible, our book that we believe in. And if we read those scriptures in the book, it guides us, it guides our entire daily life. It talk about faith, it talk about love, it talk about compassion, it talk about forgiveness and what have you. So these are things that we live on. These are principles that we adapt and we live on. And it helps us to to shape our life in future. So if you believe in whatever you believe in, it should be something like, or you should try to apply the very principles of what you believe in, because there are instructions. Even if you go to if you go to Islam, if you go to the Muslim man, there is a Quran. So the Quran also teaches about faith. It teaches about moral value. It teaches about ethical behavior, everything. So I believe that faith helps us to it helps guide our daily lives. It helps guide our step. It helps to identify right from wrong. So unless wherein we downplay them, like now in our society, many of us we have downplayed some of these things. So you will see immorality all over the place. You will see unethical behavior, skyrocketing everywhere, because we have forgotten the instruction from what we believe in. So I think it is important that we go back to, the drawing board and see how best to readjust to come out and make our society a better place. So I will stop here. Thank you for the question.
Okay, Mr. Gibson, thank you. One thing you mentioned that I like is implementation. I It's so powerful because all the things we are discussing, faith, moral, we discussed it, we say, for my viewers, the main thing is the implementation aspect. Not just follow the show, but as you follow the next day, or you should start living like you should be the example, including us, your host and your panelists. Thank you so much, Mr. Gibson.
Absolutely,
Uh,
you are just right.
yes.
Yeah,
Mr. Doe, if we talk about how people have value with actual religion practice, that we know there are certain people who are not Christian, they are not Muslim, they don't have a sign, but how do they practice, how do they have values with religion practice?
so what happened here is conscience, right? Let's look at our conscience. So I took this popular saying from one of the gospel. She's late now. She's from Nigeria, though. I forgot her name, but that lady who sang Ekuweme, 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 you are the living God. Oh. So in one of her songs, she said that we should be consciously minded of how we live our lives. We should be consciously minded of how we carry ourselves, day after day after day and after day. We should be consciously minded of how we interact with people in our schools, in our communities, in our homes, in the marketplaces, at our work site, even on social media. We should be consciously minded of how we do things. Now, if you are a human and you don't have a conscience, then we can simply say that you lack patience, because patience is one moral value. If you are a human, you don't have conscience, we say you lack forgiveness, as Mr. Gibson said. So, in order to work this thing out, we firstly look at the consciousness of the individual. Miles. I mean, how conscious Miles is, how conscious Gibson is, and how conscious Bala is. So if we are people of conscience and we are consciously minded of what we do, what we say, like you said, Kebe, the implementation, right? What happened? We cannot be careful. We cannot be mindful of how we do things. It all boils down to mindfulness. It's not about being a Christian, not I say being about a Muslim or Buddhist. No, it's far beyond that. All that matters is you are human and I am human. So we should not practice any inhumane attitude. We should be people of humanity. We should be people of patience, people of kindness, people of compassion, people of forgiveness. When we tend to practice these things without being, giving attention to where we come from, what supreme God we belong to, our deity. No, if we kind of, we can take a look at that. We can consider that. We can acknowledge that, right? But for the fact that you are human and you know that which makes you happy, makes the next person happy, you are ought to do so. So I'm going to end with this practical example how we can balance, you know, these two. Here we said you are a business owner and I'm your client, and I walk to your business center. I purchase an item from you. It could be a water bottle, and then I give you $100, and the bottle is being sold at 50. So instead of you giving me my 50 change, that exchange stuff, you went and gave me 80, you know, based on hurry or whatever circumstance. You gave me 80 instead of 50. I just walk away, just few seconds away from the business center, or just a minute away from the business center. Now, it does not matter whether I'm a Christian. It does not matter whether I'm a Muslim. It does not matter whether or not I'm a Buddhist. It does not matter. All that matters is how human I am, how humane I am, and how human I am. So if I am conscious of what I do, if I am careful with what I do, I will come right back to you and give you that, excess money you provided me. By right, I should earn 50 as my change. Yet you gave me 80. So what happens now is my honesty. I should be very honest over cheating. I should be very patient mannered over being angry whenever you wrong me. So it all surrounds how consciously minded we do things these days. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Google. I don't know tonight, my viewers, but tonight's discussion tonight show is so special. If you understand the connecting point, first, I was just say that you can have morals and you need ethics behind. Later, he came down and said you need to implement them. And now the Sadova is saying that you need to be patient. So you know that the implementation aspect is a long process. If you are not patient, you can be successful to achieve this moral attitude. How you guys are getting viral. You see the connecting trend from there. So now it's actually powerful because after you don't have moral, you need to have ethics. So it means that having moral and ethics to work alone. After to implement the moral and the ethical aspect, you need to be patient to be successful to achieve what you want. We are
You,
getting there. If you are just
Kevin,
joining us,
Kevin, you actually have a great analysis. Yeah, Mr. Gibson, what do you say about that? I mean, her analysis is aligned with all that has been said. Niles, what's your view?
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah,
Gibson,
yeah.
let's
Sure,
put
sure.
light on that
It's
though.
actually aligned. Yeah, it's
So
actually aligned. Yeah.
Philip, the topic tonight centered around your moral values, and you look at it. These are fundamental, or is a basic principle that every individual has to build your life on, right? We talk about
Smart,
faith.
smart.
Where is a there's a core value that once you build your life on these things, she talks about implementations. If you build your life on faith and try to see the clear definition of it, what happens at the end of the day? You will try to implement those things that comes with your moral lives and what have you. Once you cannot do these things at the
Right.
end of the day, my brother, no, you are not. Like I
And
said previously, they are
and
intertwined. You know, they are
right.
intertwined,
and
meaning they are connected.
implementing it, Mario, implementing, implementation is a process. If you don't have
Right.
patience, you won't achieve. So you need to be
Absolutely.
patient. For night,
Yeah, yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Can
Sure.
we can we
Gibson.
can we say faith can be the spiritual aspect and your moral lives can be the physical one, right? Because faith is the one that runs through your mind and conscious touch you and say you can. And something said to you, no, you cannot, right? And those things are said to you, okay, you can, and you try to do them. What happened at the end of the day? End of the you we're talking about your moral thing and we're talking about showing compassion, right? Like somebody is let's say for example now you are seeing somebody who is in the hospital, at the point of death, right? At the point of death, and you are looking at that person. right? Maybe you went there too along with another person, but then you have excess money on you, and then this person has been told that, oh, you have to pay a certain amount of money, right, before you can also get treatment. Yes, you have your own person, you want to take care of them as well, but then something ran to your mind and tell you that you can
Right.
also help this person, and then another thing comes to you and say, no, you cannot do it. And that's what we talk about. Your faith tell you that once you help this person, they are also going to be that kind of good person. They are going to see you, this kind of way. They are going to see this kind of way, right? Your faith now try to judge you. Is a judgmental thing start to go on within the mind, right? And then something comes to you and say, but you as an individual with the moral identity you have, you can show compassion to the person. You can take the person responsibility, and
Right.
tomorrow the person can be a better person for you tomorrow,
Right.
can be a help, to generation. When you save the person's life,
Exactly.
you know how many lives you have saved behind them. You know how many things this person is the only hope for their
And
family,
Myers,
and then
and
these things.
Myers, Maya,
Yeah.
just to hold you right there, Mr. Gibson and Kebe, Maya's
Yeah.
talking about spirituality here now. He kind of putting faith in this situation where we see it as a spiritual thing. Now, to bring it down to the layman, so I was like, okay, Myers is on path, Myers is kind of speaking well, but now to bring it down to the layman, why can't we say that faith is that inner voice that is speaking to you? Do right, don't do bad, don't do wrong. Why can't we say, Mr. Gibson, what do you say on that? Fifth is that inner
Okay.
voice speaking to us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Go
So thank
ahead,
you
sir.
very much. Yeah, so thank you very much. In regardless of your faith, whether you believe in this, you believe in that, right? There is a, there is a, let's say there is an attribute. There is something within us, that we call instincts. So your instincts tells you what is right and what is wrong. So you don't need to have,
Right.
whether you believe in this supreme God or you believe in not supreme God, what of you. You have that instinct within you that is, it tells you what is wrong and what is right. So if you follow them,
Hmm.
my brother, then you are being very moral, you are being very ethical. So I think it's
Hmm.
kind of it's related, right? Like Maya said, the faith is spiritual, what you believe in, but for the moral aspect, it something that is within us. Whether you are a Muslim, you are a Buddhist, you are a Christian, you are whatsoever, you have that instinct within you. It always tells you the
So,
right
so
thing.
can
It
we
always tells you the
can
wrong
we
thing.
say So can we say faith is that inner voice which speaks to you, and the action you take becomes the moral value? The action which we take, the decision we make on a day-to-day basis, the testing of our faith becomes the moral value. Can we say that, Kevin? Let's have you take on your show, man. What do you say on that, our host?
Hi. So now that is so it is so hot.
I want to
Okay.
say this thing. I don't know whether you can allow me. I want to say this thing before you just go. Philip, previously I said something, right? Looking at faith and then that of, we talk about your moral life, right? I said it previously, and that way I was drafting out. Philip, there are a lot of psychologists, right? They look at faith like, even though religious era is the foundation of faith, that where it comes from. But we live in a world today that people do not attach. There are some people don't have any religions that they belong to, right? They don't have any religion that they belongs to. They don't have anybody, right? So they don't attach themselves to those things. So what become of them? That was a question that Susan asked the last time. Somebody don't believe in God, they don't believe in Abraham, they don't believe in this, they don't believe in this. But yeah, what become of them? Why do you think they stand? Right? What happened is where that person, like our brother say, instant speak to you and say, my brother, no matter what you can do, it's somehow we look at it to be a spiritual, it's an inner thing, and then what you do in
Then
practical won't have to do with your moral life.
okay, like mine has to come that like one of the questions like Philip was explaining, Mr. Dodo said that no matter our religion, no matter you don't believe in God or you're not Christian, you're Buddhism, but we have common morals we share. And which can just listen. So no matter your belief, you not believe, there are common things we share, which is the moral, which is no matter you don't believe, but you will be respectful, integrity, compassion, responsibilities. So they like faith, that's why you don't believe, but you have moral aspects. There are some people that don't believe, but if it comes to their social life or living, it's very, very different. At times you'll be wondering if they are like into Christianity or they are into another religion, but you'll be like the person behaves so different. That is just simple because their moral value is just different. We just have that same connection. I hope you get my point.
Right, right, right.
Okay. If you are just joining us, welcome to the Matters TV. So Nigeria is discussing understanding faith, moral values in our everyday life. Okay, now we move to uh, Mr. Gibson. If we talk about accountability, including the faith and moral value, what comes to your mind? Can you please throw light on it for 6 minutes,
Accountability,
please? Yes,
accountability.
yes, sir.
Well, yeah, it is important to. I think it's part of the moral characters we're talking about here, because you have to account for your action, you have to account for your behavior and whatever you do. So it is important too that we discuss accountability. How can one be accountable for his or her actions? Some of us, like if we are immoral, we tend not to give value to integrity. And in as much we don't have value, or we don't place value in integrity, we tend not to have that, that accountability spirit, because we don't want to account for anything, we don't have any integrity. So it is important, whether right, whether wrong, we should account for our actions, we should account for our behavior. It is one of the fundamental, or part of this thing that we are discussing, morality, faith, and what have you. You should account for whatever you do. So, for example, for some of us from the Christian door, right, I always mention, right, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, when Adam and Eve sin, when God appears in the garden, he asks Adam, and instead of Adam like taking accountability of what he did not. Instead, he shifted the blame on Eve. So it was an action that he took by himself and by his mind. He was willing to do it and he did it. But when that time reached, he did not take responsibility. He did not account for his action. So I think in that direction, there was no moral value. He was immoral. He was unethical because he doesn't want to account for what he did. Like some of us today, in our life, in our relationship, whatsoever, wherever we find ourselves, we should be able to account for our actions, whether it is right or whether it is wrong. You should always account for your actions, and afterward, you will have that moral value. You will have that, that integrity. That, oh yes, indeed, even though this guy or this girl did this, but he or she came out to, to confess. So that is why, sometimes in our society, our host is not back yet. Okay, so I will keep talking until she can return, right? Or she stop.
She's back.
Okay,
She's
so
in studio.
she's in studio. Okay, I'm okay. So I'm waiting for her. So,
She's
so like I
already
was
here.
saying.
You
Oh,
can go
okay.
ahead.
So,
I'm here
so
now.
host, that's it. I just gave my contribution on the accountability. I want to give the time to my colleagues who have, uh, contribution to make.
And Quebec just in. Quebec just in. I don't is it net internet connection from my end also? I'm not
Okay.
I'm not am I
Hello,
audible?
Am I
Yeah, you are
audible?
audible. I'm seeing this too. I think it's from.
Mr. Gibson, thank you. You say accountability is being responsible for your action. Like, as a human, if you do something bad, be honest to say that yes. So if you take account of your action, it make you like include the moral value. These are one of the moral value. Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Myers, if we talk about respect, what comes to your mind discussing the faith and moral value? Respect.
So thank you so much, Quebec. Every one of us who are from Liberia, we know that our culture on
Can
a
you
culture
please
base.
unmute your mic?
Are you guys hearing me now?
you're audible.
Am I am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so we know that we from Liberia, most especially, or from Africa in general, one of these things, our core value as a person is to respect people no matter who they are, right? And we're talking about faith and then that of your moral values. If you want to accomplish, like we said, if you want to accomplish these things, then one of the major things you should do, respect should be one of your key priorities, right? If you cannot prioritize respecting people, right, at the end of the day, do you think people really recognize you? Like our guests was saying, we talk about immoral behavior and we talk about moral behavior. Once you cannot, mostly when people hear about immoral thing, our mind just run on just one sided. But someone who is not respectful to other people, they are immoral people. And our society teaches us that whenever we see oldest person, I'll give you that example. Whenever we see oldest person, what should we do? We be able to give them that space when we are sitting, give them that space and other things. If we are not practicalizing these things, how do you think they see us to be, right? Kebab, for let me say this as an example, right? Sometimes you see somebody comes to you and say, Kebab, you have these things, right? Kebab, I really need this thing from you. And you like, no, I don't have it, right? And that person leave and go. What try to play in you is your conscience, right? You try to conscientize yourself. But what I have to do these things to the what I have to do the thing to the person. At the end of the day tomorrow, knowing well that we live in a world that they say when you point one finger, the rest is coming back to you, right? So what I have to do this, you try to conscientize yourself, a place on you a lot. At the end of the day, you will also be in need of that person. So in the day you in need of that person, when you have that face to go back to them, automatically you won't go a place on you right away, right? If you want, let me tell you, we live in a dispensation today. They say if you want respect, you must also try to firstly respect people, right? If you don't respect people, what happens? The way people respect you, no, automatically. So we talked about faith and then that of moral values. If you want people to identify you to be that kind of moral persons, right, that person of high standard, then one of the key priorities, one of the elements of it is to make sure to respect people, be it their age, right? There are most of us, we don't even our peers group, we see them to be like, oh, I can say what I want to say to them, I can do what I want to do. No, respecting person does not matter of their age. Be it that person can be a baby, you respect them because you also want someone to respect you. And that's why most of us today have been they respected by other people because we do the same to people. They say what a man does, live after him, right? Anything you do today will speak after you tomorrow. So when I look at how you call it faith and then that of moral values, I will tell you that one of the key elements is respect. Without respect, society will not identify you or will not try to say that you are a moral person. If you lack respect, you lack it moral behavior. I will stop there for now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Myers. To our viewers, you're following the Myers TV, and tonight we are discussing understanding faith and moral value in our everyday life. So we are going for a short break, and we'll be back when we are back. My co-host will take over. Thank you. We are going for a 5 minute break, please.
Thank you.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world we see.
Mr. Dolor.
I'm here, ma'am. I'm here. I'm right. Yeah. It was such a great break. I enjoy it though. How about you, Myers? How was the
You
break?
saw me. I'm shaking. You saw me. I'm shaking my head to tell you how. The song. Like I said the other time, the first time I heard the song, I was like, ah, this one here is not for fun. Though. At least
I'm telling
it's so
you.
good. Yeah, it's good. It really make my day that particular, and it continue to make me feel excited and seeing the level of which we are expanding. Yeah.
Right, that's good.
Hello, I
Mr.
cannot
Gibson,
hear
how was the
anyone.
break? Uh, am I audible to you?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Am I audible to you? Are we audible? Kevin, tell him to go off and come back on.
Mr. Gibson, can you please go up?
Myers, you can message him.
Hello? I cannot hear.
Yes, sir.
Can you go off and come back on?
Go up.
Go come back.
Yeah.
Myers,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
so Kevin, what's your view on the song on the Myers TV? What's your
That
view?
first time I just dropped this song in the group chat that when I listened to the song, I was like, wow, when I love music.
I know.
The song is so powerful though, especially at the end of the song when the person's name, almost all the panelists name, gave me, I was like, wow, wow.
Right. That's nice.
It had that so
Myers,
deep.
can you skip to the last part she's talking about? Just the last part she's talking about. Let's hear that, please.
Oh my God. Can you please tell me the Gibson's future?
Yeah. Oh, my TV. Light in the
Ah,
world. My STV. Shine on the screen. Voices of hope. Living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. My STV. My STV. Bringing light each day. Stories that guide us. Show the way. One love, one voice. One destiny. Welcome to the future. My TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. But when I'm Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began.
welcome
Philip,
to the future.
I understand the part. Philip, I understand the part you're talking about. But our editor, he just make it very short, and I think this week we have to work on it. That the entire song, we play. I think the song is about two
Right.
minutes. Yeah. So he's gonna work on
Okay.
it and see how best we can come up where
Yeah.
all of our panelists and members' name
Right.
has been called. Yeah.
Right. Right. Mr. Gibson, what's your take on the song? What's your take on the Myers television song?
I wasn't hearing you, but I don't know what people have discussed earlier. But if it is just a song that play, I think it is dope. It is, it is fantastic, and I want to congratulate the singer, the person that put the lyric together, is corresponding
Okay.
everything in the panelists. I've seen all of the beautiful faces of the panelists, in their clothes and what have you. So it's good,
Right.
man. I enjoying the song. Thank
And
you.
and I'm the most handsome man. I'm the most handsome man on that entire.
No,
I'm
I'm not.
sorry, guys.
When I say I
Alfred,
cannot judge, but every one of
Alfred,
you are very
Alfred is not
beautiful
here.
and handsome.
No, no, no. No, Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson, I know you're not judging here. You're not being judgmental. But I want to, in the library mess, I want number on the video. Alfred not here for me tonight. So that Myers
Yeah,
are eating show on tonight. Yeah.
that's good.
Your mail car. I know you're waiting for your fighter, Alfred, to come on. You
No
for tell you
problem.
that
No
number
problem. I have
on
nothing to say. I have nothing to say.
you. Okay, guys, that was just for fun, man. It was just for fun, though. So we had a great first half, and we're about to, end the entire conversation on the second half, and we want it to be, very fascinating as the first one, and very practical as well. So we're going to look, at a very practical talk points where all of us are going to share our insights, our hands-on experience, our first-hand experience, the people may say. So we're going to take a look at faith in actions, not only by words, not only by religion, right? Because many years ago, ages ago, we've been seeing faith as just religion, religion, religion. Just religion, Myers. Mr. Gibson, only religion. Quebec, just religion. We've been saying religion. I'm a Christian, SYZ, I'm a Buddhist. That's how we've been saying faith. But thank God for the Myers television, and thank God for our, incredible guest who has come to tell us, these days that we have to balance it between, religion and morality as well as ethics. And with Quebec saying she's been very, or I don't know, far-sighted, she talks about the implementation aspect. Yeah, that we have to implement, we have to practicalize, we have to do, Miles. We just have to do and do and do, like Barack Obama said, get the stuff done. So that is it. So I know Miles, you like that popular saying, though. I know you like that. So, like, we see faith, appearing in our honesty, like we being honest to people. Our respect to people is faith. We want to tell our followers, we want to tell our viewers that your honesty, you saying the truth, you making yourself vulnerable to others, although you did this thing, and it's a mistake. You have to admit the fact that, yes, I made a mistake. It's an error, right? Even if you did not make a mistake, but you have to say the truth. The truth has to be told. Like Jesus said, you say the truth and it sets you free. But if I now told lies to Master all the time, I'm always going to be careful to always say that lies to him. But come to think of it, Mr. Gibson, lies is very difficult to battle with. So if and only if, Kebe, you say the truth, you are good to go and you are free forever. But if you dare tell lies, you're going to pretend always. You're not going to be a free human being, right? So our honesty to people is our faith in action. Our respect to our elders and even our peers, like Maya said, is our faith in action. Our accountability, taking responsibility, giving account of what we do on a day-to-day basis, is our faith in action. Not just us going to the church, going to the mosque, going to the temple, going to the synagogue, going to the tabernacle, going to that shrine. No, faith is far beyond that. So if we can balance our belief system, our supreme God, and the core value we possess, then we call that faith. We call ourselves, or we claim ourselves as faithful people. So we're going to run into a few questions, and I would like all of you to be very practical, right? I would like all of you to be practical on this, and is going to help us and also help our followers as well. But we're going to look at the family and community focus questions, where the question says, what role should families play in shaping moral values today? Let us not look at the church. Let us not look at the mosque, because when we were born, we did not start to go to the mosque. We did not start to go to the church or the shrine. We grew up right in our homes. So what role should our families, play in shaping our moral values today? And we kickstart with Mr. Gibson. Yes, sir. You have 2 minutes on that.
Well, thank you very much. In my mind, I think the family has huge responsibility to play, even above the government itself. In my mind, because we grew up, within the home of our family, and there is one thing that if a child is coming up, that child does not believe that his or her mother will lie to him or her. Do you know that? So
Right.
that is why you will see a child growing up in a Christian family will grow as a Christian because he or she believes that whatever his or her mother is practicing or is telling him is true, is right. So it's something that they will live, they will grow with and what have you. So I believe family has a huge responsibility. So I have visited a home where I saw guidelines and rules and everything in the house. So in that house, there are things that you cannot say. And in fact, in that house, there are things that you cannot even enter in the house with. There are so many
Right.
rules, and even there are food that you should eat. So when I saw that, I was very amazed. So you notice that all of the kids in our home, they are coming all, they sing, they are coming all in an upright way and what have you. So the family plays a huge responsibility. If you are leading parents, I tell you no lie, your children is they are most likely to go wayward in the society. So we as a
Right.
family, we as a parents, we have a huge responsibility to play in our children's life. Even in the education, the teacher will not do everything because they spend more time with us at home than even the teachers. So we should be able to instill, this thing that we are talking about morality, about ethics and faith, what have you. So we have that opportunity as a parents. So that's why we should, be more focused on so that they can come on in the rightful way. So that's my take on that, and thank you.
Thank you so kindly. And I like the fact that you talk about, those moral values being taught, not only taught, but also being demonstrated. Because I am a child growing up, I wouldn't, see my parents, being so kind, being honest, being hardworking, forgiving, and then I try to take the other path. No, it rarely happened. And like you said, if a parent is kind of lenient, their child or children, is likely to be, I don't want to be condescending, but they're going to go the other way around. They're going to go the other way around. And that which we don't want. That's why we kind of design this initiative to kind of, encourage us all to get on the right path. And thank you for that. And we're going to look at this thing, Miles. We have to look at this very seriously. This draw my attention back to our previous show, the first ever show we had on this platform in 2026. What should a child learn at age 10 or before age 10? This is what Mr. Gibson just said. This is what he just said, that the foundation is what matters. You grow gray headed, your foundation takes you there. You grow bored, your foundation takes you there. Now, do you think that some of those kids who were taught the right way, who were brought up the right way, and what was being taught onto them, those moral values, those morality, those core values that were being taught onto them, but in between they kind of break apart because we are human, right? They kind of break apart. What do you think is the cause of that, Mr. Miles? What is actually the cause of that? You were brought up by your parents to always pray in the morning, but yeah, you are between 15 to 20, you broke away. Why?
The first thing I'll tell you has to do with the thing of consistency, right? There are some of our parents now, they will start it very good, but at the middle of it, they try to leave it. There's a problem we face in Liberia today with a lot of our parents. The parents will be able to send their child from school from ABC to 12th grade. The day you read 12th grade, the first thing they have to tell you is, now you woman, you man now, right? Once you get that person that insight, you know what you're telling them to do? Now you can do anything you want to do. Anything, anywhere you want to go, you can go there. Anything you want to do, you can do it. And what happens at the end of the day, the person say, okay, say I'm a woman and man now on my own, I will do whatever I want to do. They try to violate whatever rules and regulation. At certain point of time now, you want to regain that person that is late. So why I was being the serious problem today, it has to do with consistency, right? Whenever you are all bringing your child, mostly they say with the boy children, we are 40-year guarantee, right? Even that person can be
Right.
living with you for 40 years, make sure that you are consistently putting whatever training within them. Whenever they are going contrary to that rules and regulation that have been set, make sure you bring them back on track. If you don't do it and you say, oh, say you read a play that you met a woman, just get in that inch. They say when you get in the inch, they will take the entire yard. At the end of the day yourself, you will feel so embarrassed. So one of the key things is consistency, I will tell you. And I will tell you another thing. While we are discussing about faith and morals, moral values, I will tell you that in our days today, our parents need to be very prayerful, right? No matter the age of the child, no matter where they are going, what have you, you have to continuously pray for them because we live in a dispensation today that is very evil, right? Because even when we shall have leave our parents, sometimes go out there, meet other friends. Do you know the kind of conversation we have with those friends? Right? So one of the things is when the parents are lacking that level of being guarding their children at a certain level, right? You don't want to guard a child again. At the end of the day, you know what you are heading them to? They will get into things that they don't want to get before you made up your mind. It's already late. So I will center this around consistency, pay a lot. When you are consistent, at the end of the day, your child will be that kind of moral child that you want to see them, right? People will say, no, you see my mirror, say my mirror being here, her eyes being on the ball. Whenever the ball does wrong, when you bring the ball to her, you will see she will. And one of the things again we face in our society today is parents, whenever the child is in a wrong decision, you are backing them. You are bagging them. You always want to stand for them. Oh no, I don't know my child will be that. Listen, the Bible talk about being chastised. It say don't spare the rod and spoil the child. Most of our parents today are being so deceitful to us, right? They feel that they love us. They love today is too much until they love say past manner, right? At the end of the day, you see the child will go real war, right? These are
So
problems we face. So I will
so
tell you that
so
consistency
right
matters
in
a lot.
right in consistency you talked about, and you talk about being deceitful, right? I mean, these are two strong words which we have to kind of, Mr. Gibson and Kebe, I think we have to, have a conversation around that. Yes, we seriously have to have a conversation around consistency and being deceitful. Now, as we look at consistency and we look at deceit, what comes to my mind is a parent being guarded. Like when I talk about being guarded, that is in a person childhood coming to the or at adolescence stage and coming to the teen age. These are guarded period. These are guarded period which our parents or guardians kind of provide us the guardians. Now we see consistency in action right there, from childhood all the way to teen age, or stage. We see the full guidance of our parents or guardians. And now they are very consistent. Now, after one has reached to his or her 19th birthday, you have, earned that for yourself. And they now see you entering into your 20. What comes in is personal choice. Our parents kind of tend to give you your personal choice, what we call your free will. They say, experience this thing for yourself. Kind of practical last word has been taught to you over the 19 years. So they give us that personal choice. Now, when the personal choice is being given unto us, we call that period an unguarded period, right? That period is actually an unguarded period. And what comes in is the individual own responsibility, is the individual own grounding to stay focused and implement with patience what has been taught over the 19 years. So, Kebe, my question to you: should the parents, should the guardians still be consistent enough, like Maya's talk about? Should they be consistent enough, or should they kind of, just kind of have a cool shoulder on us and be like, experience life for yourself? Whatever you see it, and whatever you do it. I mean, should they be more consistent, or should they kind of stick to what they have told us to have our own personal will? What's your take on that?
Uh, but that I said, the parent needs to be consistent. Like last semester, I did a course on the sociologies. It's about behavior change. So like My professor talks about in raising children or child. They have age range like or punishment you give your child. So like you don't expect if your child is 20 years, you don't expect to still give them the 14 years of punishment you used to give them before, right? So for the parents to be consistent, even if the child is 24, 23, or 20, 30 years, the girl or punishment if the child wrong, we get a punishment that the parents can implement that will call that child back to order. But in our setting now, majority parents have the mentality that the moment even the child, the person, their own child marries and that they don't have control over the child. No, even the person married or having their own room, if the doors room, they have a way you can punish them. So call them, you are not like you want to like be into their life, tell them what to do. No, you are just helping to guide their life. Because sometimes no matter a child is certain age, you the parent will not be more than you. They will still go astray, but you the parent will be there. But actually, the punishment you'll be giving them is different from the one you used to give them when they were a teenager. I hope you understand my point. So it means
I
that the
got you.
guardian of our parents need to be consistent, even if we are in our old age, they need to be consistent because they are there to guide us and to call us back to order. I stop there for now.
I like the way you put it. Still in the confinement of consistency and also guidance, but taking your consistency and guidance to another phase as a parent. Mr. Gibson, I think we all got that, right? Like
Yeah,
Miles kind of talked about, yeah, he talked about consistency. And she said, yes, it's okay. You have to be consistent. But in the child's or 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, your level of consistency changes. From 5 to 10, it changes. From 10 to 15, over the period of 5 years, you have to change. You have to change. Then this question, but before this question comes, right? I perceive that you want to have, just 1 minute around this question, Mr. Gibson. Yes, let's have you.
yeah, around the consistency, right?
Yeah, and the and
Yeah,
the
so
phases and the phases in being consistent while providing guidance, and discipline to your children.
well, that's it. Maya spoke well about consistency. I think in our librarian setting, we as a parents, we quickly, let's say give out our children, on a basis that, oh, you have already graduated from high school and therefore you can take responsibility of yourself. I think it is premature. We should be able to guide our children up to that level that we want them. You cannot allow your child to just finish or met high school and then you like giving them all of that authority, all of that right to do whatever they want to do. No, that child is not confirmed. That child is not strong enough. That child is not built up enough. I think we should do more. We should be consistent and we should also try to see how best to work on these things because we are talking about wayward children in society and what have you, but we forgot too about the contribution of the parents. Parents plays a key role. Some of our parents, they are the cause of some of these kids in the street. They are the cause because of early responsibilities, saying that, oh, you have done this and therefore you are a man, you are a woman, and what have you. We have to be consistent. We should see how best to guide them through until they can reach that peak, until they can reach that level that we want them to reach. So I agree with Kebe and Maya on this. It's very important that we be consistent to guide our children through their journey.
And I wouldn't agree more with you three because
Mm.
what comes in is emotional intelligence, emotional
Okay.
maturity. Yeah. What comes in is emotional maturity. Is that child emotionally mature that when somebody, steps on his or her toe, can easily forgive that forgiving spirit? if that child is being pressured on by his peers in class, in the community, at the marketplace, if that person is kind of being pressured on by saying the material things his friends or her friends are having, the kind of moves they take or the moves they make and what their parents, offer them, are our children or is your child emotionally mature enough? There where the consistency comes in. So until and unless we can be like an eagle who will actually continuously train the younger one, from this distance in the sky to the next level in the sky to the next level in the sky until it takes you to the very high level, it leaves you go. So what happens? Let's look at this very analogically, like the baby eagle or eaglet. I don't know, is eaglet. I think eaglet is a female or male. I just don't know. I'm sorry about that though. So the baby eagle, is being birthed, and then the mother is kind of nurturing it, nurturing it, and at a particular time, it is, the baby eagle is being taken to a certain level in the scar, and then the mother leaves to test, right? To test the morality, to test the core value, to test the discipline being instilled into that baby eagle. So as the mother leaves, so that he or she can be tested. And if the mother sees that, or if the dad sees that this guy is not emotionally mature, this guy, easily get distracted, this guy quickly runs, out of patience, and it's about to fall, what happens? The mother comes, and take hold of that baby eagle, or the dad comes and take hold of that baby eagle. The next week, the next month, take it to the next level, and put it on test. Just like that, gradually and gradually and gradually, till, a certain time, it is now taken to the very high peak in the sky and let go of it. So if that eagle can now fly on its own without being shattered away, without being, carried away by the breeze or the wind in the sky, then the parent can now say, that is the dad or the mom, can now say, yes, this man, is strong enough. This man, has some moral standards. This man can actually go his own way. That's what the Bible says. As we train up our child or children, we should do it in a way that when they grow and go, they won't depart from it. So it all boils down to our emotional intelligence and our patience, and how well we can apply these things. I just thought to share that with us. And I'm going to end on two questions because we have roughly 10 minutes or 15 minutes to end. Just two questions, and then I turn over to Kevin for the night. And here is it. And Kevin and Miles, both Kevin and Miles are going to answer one question, and our guest is also going to answer one question, but he will be given the liberty, to answer or throw light on the question being asked to both Miles and Kevin. So here is it. This one is coming for our guests. And here is it. Like, what is one value you think our society needs to rebuild urgently? This is urgent situation, right? Let's look at the context of Liberia before we come to the global world, right? So what is one value you think, just one? If you want to make it two, fine by you, but just one value you think that our society, looking at Liberia in context, needs to rebuild urgently, quickly, before we crumble.
Okay, so I think in my mind, one of the value, and it also passes down to the family. We're talking about family aspects, but it has to be training from our parents. I think if we have those necessary training from our parents, like you made mention of let's say intelligent immaturity and what have you, All of these things derive from the foundation, from the parents, from the family. So I think we need to strengthen our family, how well we, we train our children and something like that. We shouldn't make high school or criteria that we will qualify our children, we will classify them as being mature enough to go out there in society. Even if your child acquire even bachelor or master or what have you, know, you have to know whether this person is emotionally intelligent, whether this person is mature enough, to go out in society. So it all boils down to the family. So I think we should strengthen our family in our society, because some of our, even our mothers, they, they sometimes, they do some things that even affect the children. Like I saw a mother who took her daughter to a doctor to inject, or I don't know, this thing, or family planning. So what are you teaching that girl? You are telling her that, look, I have stopped everything that can cause you this and what have you. Just go out and do whatever that you want to do. So you see, so for me, it's a family. We have to strengthen it from the family angle. So that's the one key value that I think in my mind that we should see how best to work on.
Thank you, sir. And what this is a follow up to you before I transition to Miles and Kebe. So what is that one value in the training aspect you talk about? What is that one, just one value you think that our parents or parents out there can now urgently begin to instill or teach and demonstrate to their kids?
Okay, that one value will be morality, and it has so many characteristics. So if you teach your children good morality in society, they will come out good, because they will know, they will know immorality, they will know unethical behavior, they will know, they will know all of these things, good or bad. So I think morality should stand out as a key value for now, in my mind.
So what could be that practical way that a parent can do that? A practical way, like you talk about morality, right? And it's been a general term, right? Uh, it's
Mhm.
actually a general thing, yeah. So how about that old man all the way there in Sony when listening to you by means of a son's telephone, and she'd be like, "Oh, Kevin, what's morality? Mr. Gibson is talking about what's morality? Bass is talking about." You know, so, like, what practical thing you think that when she wakes up in the morning, she wakes them up and be like, "You guys should do this. Don't do this today. You have to do this today." Like you said, you walk into the people's house, the people home rather, the other time, and you were amazed by those routines. Those values being written or on the placard or whatever. Like when the mom wakes up, when the dad wakes up early morning, 5 o'clock, what is that one thing he can practicalize? He can teach and also practicalize in the presence of his children.
Okay, so there are several things that should be practiced, but we will just discuss few. I think in my mind, for example, right, I gave you example of a home that I visited, right, and I also visited a home where I noticed and I saw this mother. She did not allow her girl child to take by outside, even though this little girl was around 3 years, 4 years. So when the question
Mm.
was asked why you did not allow her to take by outside when her friends are taking by outside, she told me, because if I allow her to be outside with her body and with no shame, if she grows up, she will not have value for her body. So whatever
I
thing
like
that
that.
she will, yeah, she will not have value for, for her pride. She will not have value for it. So at her younger age, or at her small age, I'm teaching her that you as a woman, you should have value for your body. So in different kinds of family, they have other value that they may place, above, but I think in our society, especially in a Liberian setting, there are key things that we should value. And some of them, they are just little. We all look them. By the end of the day, it can shape the children's future. Yeah, for example, in the morning, you wake up and you see your son, just woke up in the morning and just leave the house, or just woke up in the morning without greeting his dad, without greeting his mom. It is wrong. So if you instill that into that child life, you are telling them that, look, whenever you wake up, it is good to greet. So there are key factors, but some of these things we overlook them. but it shapes the children morality aspect. So I think we should work on them. And I think it is based on the kinds of family. Some family has different standard based on their religion, based on their faith. But I think, everything is just good. We just have to work on them.
Thank you, sir. I like that. I like that. Thank you for being so practical. So, Miles, do you want to share? Do you want to share just one, moral stuff, those values, just one that parents today in Liberia can begin to instill in their kids? Just one.
uh, like Mr. Gibson was saying, and then I will say to you, those respect. There are a lot of us around us, we don't respect people. And as our parents, right, you know, and I know, we all are sitting here today. We know one of the key things that are allowing us to be where we are right now is because of those respect that our parents put within us. That whenever we see older people, even our peers, right, we show them that same respect. So one of the things that is lacking today in our society, and it should be handled very fast, right, is respect. You see today, let's come to our government setting. You see any lay child can get on the social media and talk to the president any kind of way, right? Anybody can just get
Hmm.
up and say whatever they want to say. Do you think those people were really read the rightful way? No. Philip, you and
Hmm.
myself know, right? You know you will not put your mouth on President Joseph Boakai. You know you will not use that profane language against the president. You know you won't do that, right? You know your parents
Not at
always
all.
but
Not
Philip,
at
because
all.
nobody knows Philip to be that kind of person, and I know I will never do that,
Right.
right? Because our parents
Right.
always taught us that we should respect other people, not just other, even our peers group, right? We should respect no matter the circumstances that might come. Because they say we are human now. Today we are talking about faith and moral values, right? We are human. Sometimes we feel offended, right? We feel offended sometimes, but our parents teaches us how to handle situation when it arises, right? How to handle people
Thank
when
you, sir.
when things come. We know how to handle it, right? Not to just our anger. Like we talk about emotional intelligence, right? You have to look at things
Mhm.
in an emotional intelligent way, right? How to handle it and be very careful because the way you say things, and that's how people refer to you. Right? That's where your immorality belief comes from. So I'll stop there for now.
We I do appreciate your insights on this, and I'm so sorry, Kevin, that I took up much of your time. But you just going to share, just one thing that the parents can start to teach us now. Now, I mean now, no matter the age, no matter how successful we are, but what is that one thing in the Liberian context or globally? What is that one thing you think that parents need to teach urgently? And as they teach, they should be able to demonstrate and be consistent. So as you answer that, you take on your show and just call it a day in 5 minutes.
Okay, for me, my aim is one is being responsible. Because
Hmm.
if you are raising a child, you don't teach them to be responsible of things like ask them how to handle things, how to handle issues is one thing. Because you're like sometimes you see us a guy, especially for we people who normally come across these things, you see a guy like if you're even you're into a relationship, for them to even take a single decision, they'll be like, I want to call my mother, I want to call my mother. Like, call your mother for what exactly? So it just shows me that he's not
Fella, do you
responsible
call
of
your
things.
fella? Do you call your mom?
But where? No, I don't call my mom. Seriously. I don't call my mom for
Bias,
issues
bias, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, bias.
because I have been here for the past 5 years. I want to tell my mother what I want her to know, but I've been handling myself. So because she taught me all those things when I was growing up, right? So one thing parents should know that they should teach their children to be responsible of things. Responsibility doesn't come with age. It doesn't come like you have to be at a certain age to start being responsible. Being responsible, one thing is in the house, you start like the way children arrange things, the way they wash their clothes. But sometimes the washing at the people say the washing can be going up to wash other things is another thing. They will take the clothes, they will mix it with the clean clothes. So these are things, and at the end of the day, they get married at their weak point that their wife will actually suffer because they will be like, I don't know how to wash. You have to be being bored, being there, you have to be responsible of things that you know what to say. So parents supposed to like the training now, they should not focus fully on girls children now, they should focus on both genders because today now, like the world now, you see today Maya is in India going to school. A Maya is living of hostel. Maya is responsible to cook for himself. You're not be saying that my sister come cook for me. No, you have to teach them. So one thing is being responsible. Okay, guys, thank you for
Hey,
tonight. Thank you for
uh,
following us.
just in, just in, Kevin, just in, please.
Okay.
Few seconds. You were in speech, so I did not want to cut you off. So to the question Myers asked me, right? Myers, for the sake of our viewers, just for the sake of our viewers, Mr. Gibson, you said I remember, all the times or all the years I've been away from my parents, especially my mom. I remember that there are two things she always said to me, two words she always said to me. She'd be like, I'm with you in prayers, and she'd be like, know who you are. You know that thing she's saying, Mr. Gibson, know who you are. That means she has already built me into somebody. And that wish she has built me into, and she'd be like, do not forget who you are. Right? So she knows that. I don't call her. She know I don't call, but she knows that the man is actually implementing with patience.
So Philip, in short, Philip is saying my people, he don't call our man, yeah. He been take some
What
time,
kind
that
of
you
BS?
know that
What kind of BS?
Philip can
Mr.
tell
Gibson,
her
what did they
decision.
tell me for?
Yeah, hey, brother, don't stop calling your mom.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kevin. You can,
Sometimes Philip,
take us
sometimes when
from
you
here.
get tough, you have to call the woman now. Sometimes when you get tough.
No, she know. Two things she always say, I'm in prayer with you and don't forget who you are. And she finish with me. She ain't got time again. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's something that can get tough. Oh.
Yeah, my man, forget that woman. Ah.
My flavor is tonight.
You play
Okay,
for me.
guys. If you are just joining our platform, you are watching the Myers TV. Tonight we are discussing understanding faith and moral values in our everyday activities. So now we come to the parting statement for today and our takeaway note. So we start with you, Mr. Myers. What is your takeaway note in your parting statement? Please, 2 minutes, please.
Thank you so much. So I would like to tell our viewers tonight we are talking about faith and moral value. I would like to tell us tonight that society depending on you. And the only way they're going to recognize who you are unless you put these two things into practice, unless you work on them. Like we talk about faith, we talk about it works within the mind, and we talk about your moral values has to do with the practical things that you do. So I want to say to us that society is dependent on us. Let's try to do those things that will work in line, with those training that we have got from our parents. Our parents know that they have brought us up a very good way, a responsible way. And once we get out there, they are depending on us to represent them. And what are you going to do out there is going to reflect back to our parents. It's going to send a whether a positive or negative signal to them. So I would like to say to us, let's take our faith very serious, no matter who you are, be a Christian, be a Muslim, wherever denominations you from, whether you believe in God, because we say psychologist says that now when it comes to faith, it doesn't just have, even though religious is the foundation of it, but it is not just centered around it. It has to do with outside, outside world and other things. So no matter who you are, let your faith, because when you have a very strong faith, you move those things that is before you. So also your moral life, show empathy to people, most especially we from the health sectors. Let's show empathy to people. Let's take people as our own, no matter the circumstances that they are going. Let's support people. As we do these things, at the end of the day, society will recognize, will see our effort and say, yes, this person is this kind of person. Because I said the previous show, whatever you do right now, people are watching you. Know that eyes are on you. Whatever mistakes you made, they are taking note of that. And tomorrow they might use that against you. So in order to be, that kind of person that will not have that negative stigma, please let's work on our faith and moral lives that will be good in society. Thank you so much to our host. Thank you for tonight. I appreciate the time given to me.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Okay, now give to Mr. Dolo your parting statement and the takeaway notes from today's show.
So just in few seconds, I would like to provide my, yeah, I would like to provide my statement on what Maya said. Whatever we do, the word is watching us. So that means before we do what we do, there is a decision made, Mr. Gibson. Before we do that which we do, there is a decision made in our head. So right in our head is the faith. So is that inner voice. Kebe, what is your inner voice telling you? Go and steal. What is that inner voice telling you? Don't steal, right? So if you be like, okay, done still, and you cannot practicalize it, no one is watching you, no one is present, no one is there, there's no camera, and be like, okay, it's not for me. Let me leave this bracelet. Let me leave this telephone. Let me leave this money or whatever material it is, right? So for the fact that you be like, okay, I'm not going to steal, I'm not going to tell lies. I'm not going to corrupt. I'm not going to do any bad things. So once we listen to the inner voice and we practice what the inner voice has told us, then we say we have faith and we say we have values. Then we see faith and values in action. So whatever we do, is being planted in our head, is being spoken to us by a tiny voice. And we should always be watchful. We should always watch out for that calm voice coming to our head and to our heart and our mind telling us, don't do the negative things. And the ones which says, do the negative things, we should not listen to them. And the ones which says that we should do good, we listen to that voice and we practice it with patience. Then we become people of moral values. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dolo. Okay, now it's on to our guest, Mr. Gibson, your parting statement for tonight.
Okay, so thank you very much. Tonight, my parting statement will be based on honesty. While we were discussing, I was trying to analyze and what have you. Even though every family has, its own standard of bringing, the children up and what have you. But I think this is something that that is very important for every family. Honesty, because it has affected all spectrums of our society in a Liberian setting, because people are not honest. So there are a whole lot of honest behavior in our in our public offices, in our businesses, in our daily life, and what have you. So as a parents, let us try to instill honesty. Let us try to teach our children how to be honest in whatever they do. Let us try to teach them, because when they grow up, they are going into society, they are going to different departments, different sectors. So they will go with that honesty. If they are given an opportunity to serve in public offices, they are going to serve with honesty. So that is my parting message tonight. Let us try to to teach our children honesty. Even for us too, let us try to be honest in everything we do. You can be honest in your education. You can be honest in your relationship. You can be honest in your business. You can be honest in whatever you do. So let us try to do that too, because it's actually affecting our society, especially Liberian society. So it was a good show tonight. Thank you all for joining. Thank you to the panelists. Thank you to the host. It was an interactive discussion tonight, and I really love it. I enjoy it, and I pray to be here tomorrow evening for another fascinating discussion. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. President, on behalf of the Majesty, we want to appreciate you for being here again tonight to partake in our show, and thank you for sharing your ideas with us. So our viewers, just to summarize what we learned today, don't forget that you cannot have moral and belief ethics behind, and don't forget to implement, and don't forget to be patient. So our parents, don't also forget that the home is our first school. So all this positive moral is supposed to give out that tomorrow that if we leave you, let people be like, yes, this is our own. We should be the identity out there. We should, if people see us, they should be able to identify us that you from this person. So thank you for that. I've been your host. I'm Kevin SF Bio. See you next Wednesday again. Thank you.
See.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, man.